Ten Tigers of Kwangtung in a ferocious and spectacular battle against Manchu mercenaries. No mercy asked, none given, as the Ten Tigers take on an army of killers in a head-to-head battle to the death. The Ten Tigers, 10 tons of TNT, 10 times the Kung Fu action. 10 Tigers of Kwangtung.
Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your master of martial arts, and the host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. Today is Shaolin Saturday, for real. And we are going to be talking about the Ten Tigers of Kwangtung, the 1980 movie from the Shaw brothers, directed by Chang Che. And it's pretty darn good. I really enjoyed it this time. So, before we get too much further into it, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment so that we can get on with the show. The Ten Tigers from Kwangtung, or of Kwangtung, also Guangdong, as it is now known, was released in December of 1980. It runs a whopping 91 minutes, which is a little shorter than what Chang Che had been doing and would do later on. But it was toward the end of the Shaws, really. It's probably one of their last great gasps of greatness. That was a lot of greats in there. But it's an all-star cast, because look at this. Wang Li, Leng Tiansheng, Chen Xiao Hao, Ti Lung, Fu Sheng, Wei Pei, Wei Pai, pardon me, Sun Chen. I mean, five of the Venom's mob, the so-called Venom's mob, are in here, plus many others. I mean, it's just a lot of. It's an all-star cast, good guys and bad guys, if you will. So the important thing, there's our fighting instructors, which were most of the Venom's mob, and of course director Chang Che. But they do give this came from, I want to say, the Dragon Dynasty DVD, but I don't know off the top of my head, that I own. So I've watched it. This is probably my third time I've watched it, because the first time I didn't realize it was a flashback and didn't understand it. Second time I'd read about it, flashback. There's 3 flashback sequences, and we're starting out in current present day. Dong Chi there in the Lucky Gambling House, and he meets Lang Xiao Hu, and they want revenge on the 10 Tigers who killed his father. Now, the 10 Tigers were an authentic group. Wang Qiying and Wang Feiheng were both members, and apparently, according to legend, Beggar Su was as well. So not necessarily the same one from Sam Seed from The Drunken Master. And there's one of our heroes, Long Tian Cheng, as Wang Chao Ming. I'm going to see who that is. That's Lung Tung Cheng. So these are current transliterations rather than the original ones. The drunkest is Wang Chao Ming, and that's Li Fu. That's the hero Li Fu Sheng. See, that is Chen Xiu. Well, anyway. Su Yen, Su Yu, there you go. They're all cousins, and Tan Kong is, it was really hard for me to keep an eye on, figure them all out. Be that as it may. So the Tans are known for their 3-cut fist. They're all drunk, and these two plot to go at least kill one of them, and they do, because they're villains. I mean, they're, the Manchus. Kills him and then writes that in, avenging his father's death, which is just dumb to brag about, because that puts everyone on guard. And now we're having the flashback. 4 of the sons of the 10 Tigers are here. Anti-Qing fighter. That's Ku Feng right there as Chai Min Yi. And then, of course, Wang Long Wei. That's, I want to say, Dick. Where is that general? Where is General there? They call him Boss in here, but I can't find it right now. Oh, General Lang. Yeah, Wang Long Wei. I think he's known as Dick Wei now. So we've seen him in lots of stuff. In fact, we've seen him in The Kid with the Golden Arm. So, which Beggar Sue, who the guy who's playing Beggar Sue, is a drunkard in here. But he's being rescued. And T Lung, yeah, I mean, famous name. He would later on be played Jackie Chan's father in Drunken Master 2. Fu Sheng, of course. Tan Min, who kind of disappears right in the middle of the movie. And that's his dad, that we just, T Lung was his um, I think it's his father, but he runs well, geez, I'm drawing a blank there. Anyway, pawn shop. So the other pawn shop wants to put him out of business, and this is what the crux of the matter is. And that's Wei Bai as Wang Qiying, who of course is the only Wang Qiying that we have here. Where'd he go? Anyway, yeah. So, and that's the guy that's out for revenge for the pawn shop master. So they're trying to figure out how to help this guy, and oh, jeez, Tan Ming is just a jerk in this. I mean, he's the one. He learned his kung fu secretly. There's Sun Chen, and they have a battle on poles, and he's just kicking is amazing. So this is a team up of the Venoms and Fu Sheng. I mean, it's like old school and new school combining for 91 minutes. And they do a pretty good job once you realize it's got the flashback sequences. So there he is, Lu Feng. Another fight here. And, and Fu Sheng must have really been committed to his part, because he did not come across as a particularly pleasant person. Because he's a hothead, and yeah, it gets blamed for everything. Now I don't know how accurate this story is to the legend of the Ten Tigers. That's you've seen them in tons of movies. All originated from Shaolin, so they're trying to help this guy out. There's the one woman in the entire movie, and she's at a brothel, so we'll see her in a little bit. And Master Lang there, of course, we know who that is. And just, we know him, right? He's a good move, Boss Chow. So, and there's Beggar Sue. It's Philip Kwok, and he would play Tan Hao in a drunkard in the previous year in Kid with a Golden Arm. If I remember, I'll link that one. And Yang Xing as he's a hero. But see, they have a bunch of fights. All this really is to let them fight each other and do flips, and so, but he's such a jerk. And they're just playing, so everyone has to make nice. But the bad guy decides to get these two to work with him, and the next, Beggar Sue, and there is Chang Sheng. We know him, and so they all team up with the bad guy, feeds them misinformation, which I find a lot of these. Again, the heroes, many of these movies and shows rely on the hero being naive and just believing everyone. So fight, they're drunk again. There's Lo Meng as Iron Finger Chen. And surprisingly, spoiler, he doesn't die in this one. Usually he dies. All these arguments. We're sober, so plenty of money. But they go banging on the door to the good guys, and he breaks it down because he's, Lo Meng. They have another fight breaks out. Lots of fights break out. Stop fighting. Stir up trouble. Who could order them around? So they don't know that they're being misled. 4 of them don't say, maybe we should look into this. So they're searching everywhere. And now it is time for station identification. And we'll talk about the naivete of heroes and the people using that as a crux in their stories. You are watching Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters on KXNO, part of the Zenorama Broadcasting Network. We now return you to our regularly scheduled program. There he is, channeling his inner Ma Fu Yi. Hate him so much. So, the naivete of heroes, it's just a trope. And, and fortunately, they kind of figured this out. So, they're going to hide the gentleman Chai here with the lady of the brothel, but she wants to redeem so she can have her freedom. This is a plot line that goes absolutely nowhere. Now, again, if I were more familiar with the legends and the stories of the Ten Tigers, perhaps I would know more about it, but I don't. Another movie, in a Golden Harvest movie, she'd probably know kung fu and fight her way out. But so there they are, easy, peaceful, and so down they go. They start a fight. A fight breaks out, and then General Lang shows up, and there she is. And this is the last we see of her. We don't know if her marker's ever paid. I'm assuming that it is. Another big old fight scene. So, and there's weapons. There's cool weapons, and there's cool and lots of hand-to-hand stuff. Nice mixture thereof. So now they kind of realize they've been had, but they start thinking about it, and he's fed him a line that the boss man there, Ri Jen Chow, has killed his wife. So off they go, prepare the escape plan, and see. But yeah, because he told us this, they have another fight breaks out. But finally, they're like, while they're fighting, he's like, you've committed unpardonable sins, and I haven't done anything. And wait, what have you said? I didn't kill anyone. So they talk it out, and then they're like, "Oh, we've been had." So at least, it's unlike Invincible Shaolin, where the Southern Shaolin students don't figure out until the very end. Spoiler alert: I haven't reviewed it yet because that's a rough one for me to watch, even though it's a good movie. And now they're friends. So, and he's like, "I'm going to go kill that bastard." He's like, "Nope," but here we go. So now we're back to the present, and then we go. Some misunderstanding. So now they're going to look around. And now Mr. Chen is one of us. So they go and find him to the bad guys, and he gives them how that his father was killed. So they have a one-on-one fight. He's like, get ready to go. And it's a good fight, too. I mean, T. Lung, I don't know, was a trained martial artist, but he did everything he was supposed to, him and his stunt double. But he pulls off the same thing that the kid with the golden arm did and breaks the blade. Also, it's a good scene no matter what. He doesn't do it as dramatically. Because this is more steeped in, they should all be doing mostly probably Hung Gar, but since Fei Hung and Wang Qiying were definitely Hung Gar experts. But they have and then the bad guys try to get in a fight. They all get thrown in the water with nets. And this is how General Lang gets killed with his own golden club to the head, and he spurts out blood. It is a Chong Che movie after all, but not as so. I must take revenge. So, yeah, this guy's they're trying to trick him. Killers from last night. And they have a nice weapons fight right out of, very similar to what we'd see in the Avenging Warriors of Shaolin, aka Shaolin Rescuers. But he kills him. And these guys have a fight, and he stabs him secretly because he's awful. And then he kills the monk and everyone yells at him, but this guy says, "Nope, it's wipe out the Shaolin rebels. So you stay here while we wait for Lin Fusheng." He's like, and guess who shows up? And he's like, "I'm looking for him," and he's like, lying. And so they figure out, okay, he's lying. So they put him through this. They torture him. This is a light moment, and otherwise, I mean, there's some humor here because Fusheng can't be, but you'll notice he's completely disappeared from the movie. Stable stance, strong arms, and Blake might be able to explain why. It might have been his first automobile accident that broke his legs or something. Happened right around this time, maybe. So they pour hot water on him, then they light his butt on fire, essentially, kick him out from under, tie him up. And then they tell him, "I am him," and stab him dead. He's like, "You're not being fair. I don't have a chance to fight back." It's like, nope, we know what you did. So they just leave him there. And they have a plan. So off they go. They do the whole pretend to be fighting scene. While this guy trying to kills him in between there. So Wang Chaoming and Li Fusheng. And then that guy shows up, Dong Qi, maybe. So Donkey and him have a fight. See that we got some weapons. And then he gets stabbed. So Sideburn guy gets stabbed, but he kills the other guy. And then he gets a boot to the head, which kicks his head off. It literally is the ultimate boot to the head. I don't know that Kamen Rider ever did this. And this is where we end. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tigers surviving. All salute the fallen ones there, the 5. And that's the end. So it's a good movie. I mean, it's short, 91 minutes. This one probably could have been a little longer to let us know, but it's packed. You know, there's like 15 name actors in here, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of action, high action quotient. I recommend it. I'll keep the DVD, and but yeah, good movie. And if you're leaving, you know what to do.
He's a-driving his old junker and he's a-looking for a wreck. He'll smash a car, he'll smash a truck, or anything by heck. Now look at this SSP smash-up derby set. It's Bug'em a-going against Tough Tom, who ain't been beaten yet. Come on, little Bug'em, you can get it done. Crash, bang, smash 'em up, smash-up derby is fun. Kenner's SSP smash-up derby set. You're looking at the whole thing.
Nearly every kid, or at least every boy in America in the 70s had a smash-up derby of some kind. They had several different versions. My brother and I had one, and they are fun. But you probably shouldn't send them down stone steps. Smash-up derbies can get smashed, those toys. Be that as it may, tomorrow we will be reviewing Swamp Thing, as Sven is airing it tonight. And I'm looking forward to it. I haven't seen the original, the 1982 version, in probably 4 decades almost, if not longer. But until that next assignment, this is X7 signing off and phasing out. And remember, if you're being tricked by an evil pawn shop owner to try to get you to kill other Shaolin heroes, talk it out. Until that next assignment, we'll be seeing you.
Government agents, scientists, soldiers, master criminals, secret formulas, monsters and midgets.